we're back, Ray. We're back.
We are back in many, many ways.
And here yeah, Sing When You're Winning,
Mm.
episode 12. And it is the final episode, unfortunately, Ray,
Oh,
of the series.
oh, great, cool. Trapped, fallen in. I think that was almost like a setup, you'd rehearsed that and I hadn't. A free kick practice. Well done.
I preempted it. But yeah, it's a 12th episode of series one.
Yeah.
I've got my nice little jacket on, looking a bit dapper. You're looking dapper
I got the
yourself there,
memo.
Ray.
I got the memo this time. I thought I knew you were going to dress up, so I thought I better do the same because I don't want to let you down. Great setup as well.
Yeah,
You're looking good.
There's there's some little celebrations today, to be honest with you, Ray.
Excellent.
Obviously, it's the 12th episode. We said we'd go 12 episodes as a series.
Yeah.
And that's what we signed up to, both of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's now a full month since I stopped taking the liquor, the alcohol.
A full month.
Stopped on the 26th of December, Boxing Day.
Yeah.
And we're now on the 26th of January.
So during that time, I know this is going to sound an obvious thing to ask, no alcohol drink at all.
At all, Ray. At all.
Wow.
And I've not gone to any services, Alcohol Anonymous or anything like that. It's just been about pure determination to do it.
So do you mind
Ray?
Do you mind me asking, because we hadn't preset this. We hadn't. I was aware of that, but I hadn't preset the question I'm going to ask you. Consistently before that, how long had you been drinking for on a regular basis, if that makes sense? Because I think your desire to stop must mean it wasn't something you were doing occasionally. So you were drinking once a week, for example. So how long could you put a figure on a period of time that you were pretty much drinking every day, or however frequently it was you were drinking alcohol?
Unfortunately, Ray, it has been every day.
Yeah.
Every day. We're going back, unfortunately, 30 years.
Wow. And for 30 so for 30 days a month, you have stopped after drinking 30 years regularly with no professional outside support. I wasn't prepared, which is okay, by the way, because I think it's such an important thing for you to share and important for others too. How have you done that? Because that's I think important for other people to know.
I just personally think that because I had enough of it anyway, and I've seen it getting out of control, and I wanted to just stop it altogether. I mean, people will think I don't believe him, but I've done it. I've smashed it. It's something that I wanted to do for a long time. It's been playing on my mind even while I was drinking. It was playing on my mind. I go to bed thinking, right, that tomorrow I'm going to stop tomorrow, and that went on for a few months. And then I was going to do it New Year, and I just thought, boom, Boxing Day, it's a big day, everyone's drinking. I don't want to drink, and I started that day, Boxing Day, and I've done it since, and we're a month in now, Ray. A month today of alcohol-free.
Wow, you know how my mind works, and I think it works this way because of the universal experience. So there will be other people who will be experiencing something similar to you, not the same. So I think it would be wonderful to put that out as a comment for other people to comment on what you've done, and also for them how they are, in a positive way to encourage, because it is something that's connected with music and football. Alcohol is connected with both.
It is.
Alcohol is connected with both, isn't it? So.
I was at the game yesterday, the City game. Oof,
yeah,
a great win, by the way. But there was alcohol all around, Ray.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I was talking to my friends at the Mary D's. I still go there. I'm still going into pubs, and I'm not having a drink. It's I know you've said it off air. You're proud of me. Everything what you're doing is brilliant. And now I'm actually proud of myself, Ray. which is a big thing. I'm never really proud of anything. Some things I've done, but to say that I'm proud of myself is a big thing.
That's a powerful message, Paul. That's a powerful message. And that
It is. And, I know from this last month, I'm feeling better. I think I'm looking better. I think, this show's going to get better all the way through. Everything's better.
fantastic. So, and you say results are better. Swimming the other day, you told me. Yeah.
Swimming. Well, they do say it's supposed to be good for the mind and the body.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all right for the mind, but I was blowing out of my arse like Kyle. I was blowing out of my arse like Kyle Walker recently for City, and he just left the club on loan to AC Milan, hasn't he?
Yes, I remember actually you told me. So yeah.
Yeah, he's gone on Friday. He's gone over to AC Milan now on loan for the rest of the season. But yeah, he wasn't playing too good for City. And I'll tell you this one, right? His replacement yesterday had a stinker of a debut.
What's his name? I struggled with it. I wanted to be able to say it, but I struggled. It's not an easy one, is it?
It's not. I struggled with it now, but
shame, really. And he looked distraught, didn't he? He looked distraught. The defender. He looked scared when he was going on the pitch, understandably so, and he looked distraught as obviously it happened
when he was up there,
and were taken off. Yeah,
that shout. You know that chant, right? He's going to cry in a minute. Cry in a minute. He really did look like he was going to cry.
Definitely. Oh dear. But good result.
It was a good result. We came back from it. I think we didn't play the best, but I think in the end it was a good team effort. We opened Chelsea up, and they was playing such a high line. And if you've seen the goals and some of our play, Edison was launching it like a rocket over to Haaland. I mean, he puts him in with an absolutely worldie of a ball. He's one of the best football players around, but he's got gloves on, Ray. But he's got one of the best passes.
Wow.
He's got one of the best passes in the world.
Yeah. So an assist, assist basically. Yeah.
He's got an assist. He's had a couple this season already. We at City, we want him to take a penalty because I think he'd smash it right through the back of the net.
And great goal. I loved Haaland's skill and reaction as well. I thought that was a little bit of a return. He's got this youthful, almost baby face, hasn't he? And the smile that came on. So I kind of feel with you that this is a celebration week for a number of different reasons. So Man City, a little bit more back on track because it was people check out previous episodes. There's been some challenging times for Paul and others who are Man City fans recently. And then, of course, Fleetwood Town. So you were there on Tuesday, MK Dons?
Yeah, right. That was obviously a good 3 points. It was a good win. And unfortunately, I've got some footage of that as well, which we're going to play for our half-time break.
Yeah.
And I got a nice little chat with an MK Dons fan in that, and that was really good, just to get another side of things. He went on a little bit. He had a bit of a rant because he's lost.
Yeah.
So, it was all good for us yesterday, City, but unfortunately Fleetwood lost against Carlisle. I think you're travelling up there later today.
I am. Yeah. Ironically.
But yeah, it was mixed bag, for yesterday. I think the last couple of games I've had 6 points, if you would, where City and Fleetwood have won. But unfortunately, just 3 points for me in the bag yesterday.
I must admit I didn't follow the result. What was the Fleetwood or Carlisle Fleetwood game?
2-1, right? They scored in the 88th minute, right at the sucker end of the game. You know what I mean? It's where most games are won nowadays. They put it in the last 10 minutes, don't they? Try and get that win, try and get that point, whichever. And you can get suckered for it. And you've got no time to get it back then, have you?
Mm. And extra time. Matches, of course, go into 12 minutes even, and extra time. So there's that opportunity because it doesn't, of course, finish at 90 minutes. And
Not anymore. Not anymore.
no, no, definitely not. So I think I was watching. I can't remember where it was and what it was, to be honest with you. But it was a game back in, I think it was probably the 70s. And God, my goodness me! And it
Did
was
they
a
have,
first
did they have
division.
gloves on then? Did they have
Yeah,
gloves on then?
no, 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 definitely not the outfield players. Yeah, first division, and it was absolutely it was like a cow field, and it was a first division match, and
Yeah.
you're seeing them as like quagmire of, mud and little patches of grass, but you think of that in comparison to today, and I say less injuries. You're talking about people being absolutely axed by
Oh
players
yeah.
like Norman Bates or
Poleaxe.
Chopper Harris. Yeah, I remember players like that. Yeah, yeah. Does that ring a bell?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Bremner and Franny Lee, they had a fight on the pitch, I think them two.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
it was good, good tackling football back then, wasn't it? What was going to touch on then? Did you see the controversial sending off yesterday with the
Yes.
Arsenal game?
Yes.
He's
Yes.
he's gone down. He's gone down his Achilles. I think it was a really bad, but possibly not a red card.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everyone's talking about it at the minute. It's on everything at the minute, whether it should have been a red card. But I thought it was dangerous play, the way he's gone down his Achilles and his shin. And they do say anything above the ankle can be deemed a red card. So I'm on the fence on that one, and I think it should have possibly been a red card.
Maybe.
But let us know what you think.
Maybe, but exactly. Comments, people to comment on that and other thoughts. And I know you've got plans. I was just thinking about that pitch I was talking about. You've got plans to do some remote recording at times on when the weather begins to improve, shall we say?
Hopefully it does soon, Ray.
And it will. But also, I think a link between, and maybe we'll talk about this in the second half as well. You're wanting to not focus on just one aspect. So, for example, you're not only Man City centric, which is okay, by the way, but that's not what you're doing here. You're talking about other clubs you already have. You just have, quite a few. But also the women's game. I know you talked to me about that recently, that you're looking potentially perhaps to go to Man City, but also potentially guests as well, to bring in those that are involved in the women's game would be a good aspect.
Yes, right. I'm actually looking at going to my first women's football game. It's actually Man City versus Arsenal on the 2nd of February, and coinciding with City away at Arsenal, where my son's actually going to that game. He's going away on the Sunday, 2nd of February, to the Arsenal away game. And I'll be going to watch a women's game.
That's
and
amazing.
It's the first one, my first one.
Will you then, I'm putting you on the spot now, will you then get some footage from both, so that potentially that could be a really, really interesting piece of video for those who are, the growing numbers who are subscribing to the Sing When You're Winning podcast. So would you put together a bit of video that perhaps your son can capture and a bit that you can capture to then put in there? And I think that'd be really, really good, actually, to put the two together. So rather than it being separate, if you get me. So, because it can be a little bit opinionated in men's game, women's game. So I think to unify those two things together would be really good.
Yeah, I think that'd be a really good show. Obviously, I think with me and the women's one, I think I'm going to get quite a lot of footage, like I did with the Fleetwood away at Salford game. And obviously, that was a great show in itself. And I wanted to do that because I wanted to be the roving reporter, getting interviews, half times. I'll probably go to that women's game on my own, but I'm still going to try. You know what I'm like, right? I'll just accost somebody and say, would you do this little chat with me? I've got a podcast called Sing When You're Winning.
Excellent.
And They usually say yes, so they usually say yes, Ray. I've got a little charm, not just with the ladies, but
Yeah, yeah. Well, you got the Norway lads from a previous episode, Will, who happened to be travelling, I think, from Plymouth. He's studying there and came back to a Fleetwood Town home match. You've got what you said about MK Dons the other week. You've got what you did at Salford
yeah,
City. And I really, really feel that as you're expanding, I feel that's a crucial part of Sing When You're Winning podcast because it's interesting. Yes, you and I are talking, and this particular episode that's happening, but check out previous episodes because there's so much there of a wide variety, and you're increasingly looking for the opportunity for variety. So stay tuned. Stay tuned.
definitely. So Ray, I was actually watching just this morning because I like to look back on our episode, especially before we're doing an episode. I like to do that. It gets me in the role. And I was watching the game that we had, the kickabout on the King George's playing field in Fleetwood. You come down, got absolutely drenched, went through. It was so good to get back out there on the pitch. I've not kicked the ball for about five years. And there were some skills involved. We had Billy Dolan and Naughty George came down, and we had a right good day. It was good, and I think I'm going to touch on that a lot more when the weather gets better.
Excellent.
And I kind of, they used to do it on Sky Sports Soccer AM. You know the drill. So we're going to do little bits like that. A penalty shootouts, free kicks, little 1-2s, little shots. And I think it'll go down really well. That's going to be part of the Friday extra time that we're going to be going into a bit more. And we want to make it, this show as best as it can be with obviously good content, good different stuff, actual football being involved. And, the women's game, covering that. We just want to cover everything we can, don't we, Ray?
Totally. Great message. So what's coming up in the second half? What can we look forward to after the halftime break, which is your roving reporter, Fleetwood Town v MK Dons? What can we look forward to in the second half?
Yeah, and like I said, there were some good clippets of that. I mean, that was a good win against the MK Dons. Unfortunately, we got losses today against Carlisle, but it is what it is. But we still, the show goes on. I've captured the footage, so there we'll show it. And yeah, the second half we're going to be covering the Palace game, aren't we? Crystal Palace versus
Brentford.
I forgot the
Brentford.
Brentford, yeah. So Palace versus Brentford. We're going to cover. We're going to watch, obviously, and cover that game. And I'm going to tell you in the second half whose these gloves are. Look at the size of them.
Boom. Wow, I love that. Brilliant. Look forward to that. Safe pair of hands with you, yeah? The cat.
Look at the size.
Yeah.
Look at the size of them. But yeah, I'll reveal whose them gloves are.
Just come to the ticket office now for tonight's game, Tuesday night, in the lights at Highbury. We're playing MK Dons. Come on, 3 points. Cod Army.
Is it little Oggy?
It is, mate. Yeah, it's little Oggy. Yeah, thank you, mate. Hey, cheers for that. Right, see you soon, mate. Cheers. There we go. Tickets got. He knows my name now. Little Oggy, eh? Right. Let's go and enjoy the game. Half-time team talk again. We've got another... it's going to be a regular edition, I think, at the minute when we're doing Fleetwood half-time chats. But yeah, we've got Tyler here. Here we go, Tyler. What do you think of that, my mate?
Well, it's all right, but I think the ref's going to send somebody off with his actions.
Yeah, he's a bit keen with his cards, isn't he?
And fouls that are fouls.
Yeah, there was a bit of a fracas in the middle of the pitch, and card there. Rooney's been all right, though. He's not got involved, has he, Rooney? But
Shot. Last time.
he did, yeah. Hey, there's a singer on here, right? And it's not that good, I'll be honest. Hopefully, I will be on here soon. He's not the best, anyway. I'll show him how it's done. But he can play guitar, though, so it's more musical than me. And what are you saying? What are you reckon for second half, pal?
Hopefully someone gets it sent off. We're not playing too good. Possibly.
You get another one, do you reckon?
I think they'll get two.
What?
I think they'll get two.
Oh, he's not coming again, him. He reckons they're going to get 2 goals.
They played better today.
Oh yeah, they are,
They
but
passed the ball better than us.
you can go on the MK Don side. You can get the coach back with them if you want, pal. No, I think we'll get another one. I don't think they'll score. Number 2. Tyler wants, yeah. Anyway, that's it from me. Going to enjoy the second half now. Well, I'm going to go out and have a quick fag. Then enjoy the second half. Right, so we're just coming out of Jim's bar, second half. Somebody kicked off actually, but I've just spotted me good mate Dave, and it's his birthday today. So happy birthday, Dave.
All right, cheers, mate.
Yeah, what do you think of? Reckon we'll do it in the second half?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so. I think we'll get another.
we should be 3 up anyway.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
the end of the day, we'll get the points.
It was better. I'll be honest, the atmosphere was miles better at Salford, but it always isn't an away game, isn't it? Always isn't an away game.
Morecambe, it'll be better at Morecambe.
Yeah,
as well.
very well, be. Very well. Nice one. Cheers, Dave. Yeah, so a little bit of a post-match chat here from me, and there's our biggish stand there. But yeah, 3 points again. Happy days. Always good when you get 3 points. It always feels good when you go on.
To win it, boys.
No, I know, mate. No, we
didn't.
well. Oh God, yeah.
Appreciate it, mate.
Sorry.
I'm MK Don's vlogger.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm the MK Don's
Pleased to meet you, mate. Yeah.
Can I be
So,
in it?
yeah.
I'm an MK Don's vlogger.
Yeah, it's MT.
I'm the
yeah.
main man around here.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I've been
you
doing
know
mine.
that.
I'm not a blogger. Mine's actually
No worries, no worries.
it's a YouTube podcast.
Is it going on YouTube?
Yeah, man. So it's called Sing When You're Winning, my podcast.
Yeah, no worries, bro.
But yeah, you'll have to share it about down
Yeah,
there.
yeah, of course. Look, you guys deserve to win this 2-1. Fully deserved. Look, the record speaks for itself. Fleetwood, of course, we come here every single year. We haven't won in 9 years
Wow.
at this stadium, which since Ryan
I
Cole
didn't know
scored a
that.
hat-trick. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
We've signed
To travel, eh? Travel
19
down.
players
Yeah, you sound a lot.
in 2 transfer windows.
Yeah.
We've been
lots
sacking
of begging,
managers
that,
and managers and managers and managers,
Yes,
but
oh,
the
good,
trouble is, look, Scott Lindsay is a very good manager.
Yeah.
He's got Crawley promoted,
Yeah,
right? It's a new squad. The players have managed to gel in, but we just can't seem to win away from home.
Yeah.
It's just like it's just low confidence at the moment.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we signed Dan Crowley for £350,000 a week, right? 350k, sorry, and
Oh, yeah,
we
yeah.
signed, of course, Williams as well.
Yeah.
And then the guy who scored today, O'Reilly, who came on as well. It's like we've got a good squad. Everybody was predicting MK Dons to win the league. Like on my channel, I predict us to finish in 3rd.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why we've got to play Wimbledon on Saturday at home.
Bloody hell.
I'm not confident going into that game. And then we've got to play Doncaster next weekend. Harrogate, of course, during the week. It's like, where are the goals going to be coming from?
We're on a
2
roll.
goals away from home in 2020. No, 2 goals or 3 goals,
this
a
is-
few
this year.
goals in 2025. Like, we go and beat Chesterfield 2-1.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, of course, we only score 1 goal against Warsaw, right? And then we go and concede today. It's just we have a problem away from home. We need to fix up.
You definitely do,
And
mate.
we need a striker.
Right, I'm gonna have to shoot anyway.
But yeah,
thanks
thank
for
you very
getting
much.
your
Subscribe
side
to the
of that,
channel,
yeah?
Luca Talks Ball.
Yeah, it's
Alright?
Lucas and mine's Sing When You're Winning podcast, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
All right, mate. It goes out on a Monday. It's going to be a Monday anyway. He was a bit gutted, wasn't he? I thought you weren't going to stop, John. I'd probably still be there now. Well, in the morning. Left now. That was funny, that. But yeah, we've won. I'm not bossed about him really, but he's a bit gutted. But yeah, he's having a bit of a rant there. I can't stop laughing. It was funny. But yeah, shouldn't laugh. They came, they turned up and they got beat. And I didn't want his life story. Right, I'll see you in a bit, people.
And we're back, Ray. We're back for the second half.
After
of
a slight
episode
breather.
12.
A slight breather.
Yeah, we've both been busy little beavers, haven't we?
Just a bit.
You've just finished your own TikTok live, having a little sing along.
Yeah. And you? What have you been up to?
On TikTok. I've basically obviously we had a chat about this in between, and just said my internet was unstable then, but I don't know why. But yeah, so I've just done a TikTok live promoting Sing When You're Winning podcast. And as we've talked in the interval, we're going to go TikTok live with the Sing When You're Winning podcast.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a weekly. It's going to be a weekly thing, isn't it, right?
Excellent.
Where I'll go TikTok live with a guest talking about the football's fixtures, and it will go out on a Saturday morning.
Absolutely.
A little bit like Football Focus used to be, maybe.
Yeah. Effectively,
So,
a pre-match, almost in a way. So Friday night, you're going to do that, and others, of course, might be joining you in the TikTok, because it can do that, like a little window in the corner of somebody there type thing. So I think that's going to be amazing. Of course, also that could be multiple people for the future, but this moves quickly, Paul, because we're talking about hours. We're not talking about days, weeks, and months. We're talking about hours. And in between, you've been to the gym. I've been loading the car up to travel to Carlisle, sunny Carlisle. And then we've watched.
I don't think anywhere's sunny at the minute, right?
True enough. Well, Crystal Palace Brentford wasn't sunny. That was one of the things that struck me. I only got to watch the first half, and I think Alan Smith, the commentator, he was Arsenal and Leicester, wasn't he, back in the day? He said about, I think they're going to need a towel. And I checked the result, but I didn't watch the second half. Did you get to watch the second half or not? Don't worry if you didn't.
I'd just come back from the gym then, yeah, right. Yeah, the second half, it was a little bit more exciting than the first half. It was 0-0. And the Brentford, it doesn't happen very often, but when the keeper moves before the penalty, he had to take it again. He missed the first one.
Ah, right.
And because the keeper was off his line, it made him take it again, and he scored that one.
Right, got you.
So a bit controversial, but you can't move off your line. That's the rule.
No, yeah. They're a good consistent side, Brentford, aren't they? They've done well for a few years. I mean, obviously they're managing to stay in the division and comfortably stay in, but they're a really the front two, very like a spearhead, very. And Bomo, isn't it? In Bomo, he looks like.
Bomo, yeah.
He's powerful.
He's a big lad.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, no. Same with Palace. Palace always seem to stay in the league.
Yeah.
But they don't seem to win, so many games. I think Brentford will get a couple of wins together back to back.
Yeah.
And then they'll lose or draw yeah, but they're good to watch. Brentford, I like watching them. Like you say, they usually have two strikers up front, 4-4-2.
Yeah.
Rather than the 3-3-5 or whatever City play.
I think they float quite a lot, don't they? I think there's a few different ways. Yeah.
There is. But yeah, it's nice to cover obviously the Southerners. I know you're one of them.
We've got a look in. You've given us a look in. Yeah, brilliant. But you're right though. You're right. And I think you mentioned in the first half, Man City, Arsenal, Man City, so to speak. Kind of like women's game, men's game, and of course your son's travelling down. You said for the City away game.
He's got a ticket. He put in for it. We obviously go through a supporters club, the branch we travel down from here to the City home games, and we can put in for away tickets with them. And he's managed to get just one. So he's actually, bless him, he's travelling down on his own. He's meeting some people at the game, and probably on the train from Manchester. I think he said he's meeting a few lads that he knows in the area that he sits in. And I'm hopefully, fingers crossed, going down to the City versus Arsenal women's team.
Brilliant.
And I'm going to get some footage of that, Ray, and that'll be special. I think that'll be really good to get more women involved on our podcast. We've unfortunately the numbers on my analytics says we've got 97% men watching the podcast. It's nice to see them stats, and then we can do something about it. And
that's a really good comment. That is. I know that might sound a very straightforward, simple thing to say, but it's so true. That's the benefit of them. And I think it's the benefit of
Yeah.
them in the way you're applying it. So what you've done is you've looked at that and decided, because we talked to you, shared that with me and said, you want to do something about that. And straight away, again, the action of today, and I love it, if I'm honest with you, the way I like to live is fairly fast, but I'm finding with you, I'm having to keep up. I'm having to keep up, which is a great, no, I'm being serious, which is a great feeling because you've been to the gym, I've done a live, I've packed the car up, you've come back, you've already put in place things that you said about the TikTok extra time on a Friday night. I know you're already going to be going out and getting, videos from, like, say, the women's game, and then the Sunday when we record, that will go out on the Monday. So it's like, wow. That's incredible. So
Yeah.
before I forget, tell us, not just me, but talk us through the gloves because you left a little bit of
Yeah.
a teaser before we went into the halftime break. So,
They're absolutely massive. I can't believe the
yeah,
size of it.
I think to
I've only got little jazz bands myself,
I
but
think to be fair, Paul, I think my hands are a reasonable size, but they're not that big. I think they'd probably be bigger on my hands. I think to be fair, but yeah, tell us about them. Who's
may
who's
well
the
be. Right, so I went, obviously, I'm a car valeter as a trade. That's my business, that's what I do. And I went and did Billy Crellin's car on Saturday morning. His mum gave me a shout to go and do it. And as I finished up, she went, "Oh, do you want these gloves, Pauls?" They were Billy's, but he actually got them off Jordan Pickford, the Everton first team goalkeeper. So
Wow.
he's obviously worn them. Believe it or not, Ray, they're actually too small for Billy.
Wow,
He
seriously?
must have
Flipping
hands like
heck.
shovels.
Wow.
And
What? Wow. Yeah, they're pretty big, aren't
I
they?
feel like Kenny Everett or something like that.
And I get that reference as well. Yeah. Brilliant. So I think there's a comment possibility for people to say who remembers, the Kenny Everett sketch with a big hands and maybe other Kenny Everett characters. That's genius. That I love that. Brilliant. So
Off
tell
the
us
cuff, I'm good. I'm good off the cuff.
Tell us a little bit
Go on, then.
about, have you got any thoughts in terms of, because I know we talked off air in the brief time we had in between at half time. Um, you
Yeah.
talked a little bit about thoughts for the future for the gloves of something that you might do with them.
Yeah, I'm going to obviously clear it with Alison, is
Yeah.
Billy's mum. What she did say, she said, I'm happy for you to give them to a good home, like a
Nice.
dog, you're giving
Yeah,
away a
yeah,
dog, but these
yeah, yeah.
giving away these gloves. And, she said, give them to a goalkeeper. But, I'm going to ask her if
I've got to do
would
something about that, Paul. I've got to do something about that comment because so giving away a pair of Jordan Pickford's old gloves is like giving away a dog. Oh, brilliant.
they always say, they do always say, though, as long as
The
it
the
goes to a
Liverpool
good home.
the Liverpool fans will love that one. The Liverpool fans will love that one, yeah. Brilliant. Excellent. So that's
But
good.
yeah, no,
That's good.
I'm thinking maybe, obviously, we're doing a charity event at Oldham, aren't we,
Yeah.
for John
Yeah,
Cheetham?
yeah, yeah.
I may well, obviously, maybe do a raffle for them and put them to a charity. I'm covering PTSD charity for the
Mm-hmm.
22B song,
Mm-hmm.
which is obviously my tribute song to the May 22, the bombing in the Manchester Arena attack, and obviously I'll be singing that song at your at that night on the 29th of March at Oldham.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we could well do that. I'll have to clear it with Alison if she's okay with that. I'm sure she will be because it's going
Yeah.
to a charity. And
I'll check in with
other
you.
than that,
Yeah. I'll check
yeah,
in with you, Paul, which is to ask you. I think the answer will be yes. You've just reminded me now, and of course you're not reminded me as in you're performing because I knew that. But I've been meaning to ask you this. I've been meaning to ask you this for a couple of weeks now. Would you be okay if I put a link in the description to the Eventbrite link for tickets for March the 29th at Oldham. Is that okay? Because obviously
Absolutely.
this is your YouTube
Absolutely.
channel. This is, we're doing this together. So it is our podcast in terms of we are
Yeah.
together, but your YouTube channel. So if you're okay with that, when I share this out, I will put, and I'll also probably do that all of the weeks leading up to, because of course that would be great
Yeah,
for
why
people
not,
here.
Ray?
And I think you've kicked off something now. So ironically, which is
Literally.
I'll have a chat with John. I'll have a chat with John, and I think we could actually set up a raffle. And I think we could say that raffle that the proceeds will go to a PTSD charity. And of course that connects with John.
Yes,
That connects with John very much
of
as well.
course.
So thank you for that. Thank you for that. So we now know
Not a
the
problem. Not a
we
problem.
now know the secret hands behind the gloves or in the gloves, and that's revealed now. We know that you've got plans of the TikTok lives, which I think is really, really going to work incredibly well, and I think others will be joining you in there, and that will become the extra time for Saturday morning. We also know that you're going to be a roving reporter, so to speak. I'm sure there's a better term than that, but you're going to be out. You're going to be
A
out and
roaming reporter.
rolling, rock and rolling, the rock and rolling
Ro-
reporter.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, rock and rolling reporter. You're going to be out, you're going to be videoing, you're going to be talking with people as you've done in previous episodes. And I can't think of, is there anything else we want to share in terms of this particular episode? Because I think because my brain's a bit dizzy at the moment, I'll hand that over to you because I
Yeah.
can't remember whether there were any other subjects that we said we were going to talk about.
No, I think, obviously we're doing the roaming report a bit. I may be going to some gigs as well,
Mm.
where
Mhm.
obviously because we are football and music,
Yeah,
so I'll be covering some gigs and maybe slipping them in the half times or the outros that we do. I know
excellent.
we've got a special outro today from the City game, which was yesterday. And before the game, Ray, obviously because Dennis Law passed away, Tony Buck, who obviously was another City great, and they did a really special moment for them. Them there was three of them. There's another one that passed away just this week as well, and they did a really special moment for that.
Yeah,
But obviously we'll keep the outro a little bit of a secret for people to stay till the end to watch that
nice.
because it is a really special moment. And I think I said it in the earlier first half. I don't normally get in the ground as
Yeah.
early as I do, as I did.
Hmm.
But it was so nice to see this little light show, and it was brilliant. But yeah,
Well,
watch to the end, people, and it's a very nice moment.
excellent. And it's progress, isn't it, in regard to the decisions that you've made, which, as both of us have talked about, we've had some great laughs today. We've had great laughs in previous episodes, but also, of course, in life there are those things that we face. People say, like, you have to face up to your demons in the game, in football, in
Mm,
music. There are well-known
yeah,
people who
yeah,
have gone through challenges just because they're famous, they're celebrities, and they're paid lots of money. In many cases, I'm talking Premier League footballers and singers,
yeah.
bands, that type of thing. It doesn't mean that they're not affected by mental health issues, and people have opened
Oh,
up
we're
about
only
that.
human.
People, yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. So this guy
you don't
yesterday,
know
who's
what's going on in their personal
totally,
life.
Pep Guardiola, a divorce. Yeah,
Yeah,
just because
yeah.
you've
I
got
read that. Yeah,
lots of money, that doesn't mean you're not affected. So I think it's important. I
not at
really do
all.
feel it's important because people think there are privileges that come from people having a lot of
Yeah,
money and status, but it doesn't mean they're
yeah.
unaffected. And I think that within itself is a challenge. This young guy, the defender, whose name I'm going to have to learn it more if I'm going to pronounce it. I'm definitely not a newsreader, but
I'll
watching
have a
him
look.
before
I'll
the
have a look at
match,
some of that. Yeah,
it was a big thing. You could tell, and of course it is. And I think, wow, I got nervous playing in a semi-final. I threw up. I threw up before the semi-final when I played for the school team years ago, and we played in a county finals across the country.
Yeah.
And basically, we drew the game. And then let me think. No, it was the other way around. That I played in the game we drew, and then we went back to their place, so to their school, and I threw up before the match because I was so nervous. Yeah. And here's a guy who's playing at the Etihad, and then he makes that mistake, and you see him coming off, and I think, do you know what? I remember, stick with me because I'll be quiet in a minute. Roy Keane, when he went at Harry Maguire. It's one of the few times that Roy Keane has ever apologised. He actually said, because he pretty much attacked, I can't remember what he said, but had a real go at Harry Maguire, and then he came out and apologised and said, I went a bit too far. He said, I crossed the line because it was a bit personal. And you think, these people in that world, yes, they're trained, they're built up, they have people in place to help them, but they're still, exactly as you said, human beings. So didn't prepare to talk about that, but I think you've opened up when you're sharing what you're doing, 30 days without alcohol, and you've made a choice and, making incredible progress in what you're doing. And I think it should be celebrated. So well done.
Yeah. And thank you, Ray.
That's all right.
Demons. It actually we're going back to the demon bit. I've actually put that into this one of my songs, which is about giving up the drink. The song I think I've told you before called Day by Day, and I've took all these 30 days day by day, and they're getting easier now. Easily, they are getting easier. It's simple as that. But I took the choice to do it, made it public, and I've enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed how I've come out of it as well. So that's good. And that's in, like I say, the demon bit is in my song.
Wow.
So I'm glad we covered that bit as well.
And there's so much coming, Paul, and you've already shared it. The extra time in TikTok extra time, if you like. You might form a name around that. Future episode, everything you're doing, growing subscribers. And I think I want to just ask you in conclusion, because I want you to have the last word, which is, you shared off air, so before we recorded, I think we shared it in a voice note conversation, that previously, and I'm moving towards the outro now, I think you'll get where I'm coming from, that previously you wouldn't have been in the ground for the kind of thing that happened that's going to be the video outro with another one of your, in my opinion, my favourite song of yours, and you know that. I'd like you to, perhaps if you can, just share the fact that you used to not be there for that happening, and you were there for this particular video outro without giving too much away, if that makes sense. And that's the last word for you to share whatever you want to share.
Yeah, sure. And the reason for me not being there, of having a quick pint before I went into the ground, and obviously now I didn't even go and get a drink of water. By the way, the little tiny bit of water that I got was £2.50. £2.50 for a bit of water. I mean, you can't even take your own in, so you have to buy.
Did it taste good? I hope so.
I kept it to the final whistle. It tasted better then.
Well said.
But I'm never in the ground that early, and I did it against the Salford game. I was in the ground early for that one, but it was the daytime one. So obviously, when it's a nighttime game, they do what the outro is to be. The song that we've chosen for this one, your choice, actually. I know you love the song and you wanted to play it at some point or another. But yeah, Diamonds in the Sky with Lucy. It's a beautiful song. It's a little bit slower from myself, but it's a beautiful song and it's a lovely melody and it's great. I love it. And one thing that we've not covered yet is the song that is going to be the song for Sing When You're Winning. Yeah. So
And I don't know if you've got anything else to say, but I think we're
I'm
going to
trying not to
conclude with the
talk.
song, right?
I'm actually genuinely trying not to talk. I've got nothing else to say. So say what you're going to say, because I think that's a beautiful place to conclude. Definitely.
Yeah, so I'm going to conclude with this. I'm going to sing it, but I'm going to obviously ask our audience, and hopefully we'll get some comments back on this, because we do. Obviously, we need subscribers, we need likes, we need shares, but we want some comments, especially on this one, because I want it to be maybe the intro of the Sing When You're Winning podcast, and it's for every football team and every fan in the country to get involved with, because it's just about our beautiful game, and so we want you to comment and give us some more lyrics for this song, even though I can get them myself, but I want this to be, a bit of a joint effort with people of the game. So here we go. I'll have a bit of a sing song here.
Excellent.
Saturday, it's 3 o'clock. Come on, people, it's kicking off. Maybe your first game, or you go home and away just to see your team play a beautiful game. And from that, I want comments for more lyrics. Pick up that pen. Thought you said you never write again, but you can't be scared of it. Baby, you gotta roll with it. And if you think of it, write it down. 'Cause every word's a lyric, but it's easier to say. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Then yeah, yeah, yeah. But today is never gonna change. If you're waking up the morning after, you gotta live and let die when you're having your time. Gonna smash it till the morning after. We're gonna smash it till the morning after. Smash it till the morning after. And some might say the best songs are old. When there's diamonds in the sky, we lose it. You can't believe all the things that I see. And some might say the best songs are old. When there's diamonds in the sky, we lose it. You can't believe all the things that I see. You can't believe all the emotions that I feel.
till the morning after. And some might say the best songs are wrong when there's diamonds in the sky with anything. You can't believe the things that I think. And some might say the best